بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد. Inshallah, we'll be continuing the book, The Major Sin, and inshallah we'll be taking the next major sin, which is actually to neglect the prayer or a person not praying the salah. It is actually a major sin. So before actually I start the lecture, we wish to highlight that actually we have a Telegram group which is named with Spiritual Ustaz Hassan. Spiritual Ustaz Hassan. You can actually log into the Telegram to get updates about the lecture. The lectures will be recorded, and we actually have created a Facebook and Instagram and YouTube channel about this program that we are doing about major sin, so that people actually will get awareness about the major sins in Islam. Okay, so you can actually subscribe, or you can join these groups where you can actually will get the lectures. At times you will not be able to actually be present. At the same time, actually you can share with your family and your friends about this major sin. Inshallah, the next major sin, as I told you earlier, that we're going to take is actually about a person not praying the salah, So we have actually taken a few major sins. One of the first few major sins were shirk, or setting partners with Allah Azza wa Jal. As Allah Azza wa Jal says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. Allah Azza wa Jal does not forgive a person who set partners with Him, but Allah Azza wa Jal actually forgive all other sins. And after that, actually we take other major sins, like for example, a person killing another a believer or killing another human being. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَمَنْ قَتَلَ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمَ خَالِدًا. A person who kills another believer, his destination will be hellfire, and he will abide there forever. And after that, we actually take about last week, the previous lesson actually we took about sorcery, or a person practicing magic, and actually it brings a person out of the religion of Islam, because a person who practices magic, he will never be actually be able to practice religion, because he will actually be obedient to the shaitan. And one of the things that was highlighted in the lecture about sihr is that one of the first commandments that shaitan or Iblis actually will do is actually to leave the salah, to leave the prayers. So from that, actually he will be actually a slave to the shaitan, and he will be able to practice his magic. Because of that, actually many of the scholars of the opinion that the book that we are studying, Ibn al-Qayyim, book by Imam al-Dhahabi, The Major Sin, they have the view that actually the author actually did not arrange the books accordingly. That means he did not list the major sins accordingly. Okay, rather actually he just listed all the major sins, and some of the major sins can be actually preceded. So some of the scholars have the view that actually neglecting of the prayer, or a person not praying, supposed to be immediately after shirk. Because there are some scholars have the view that a person actually who does not pray is not a Muslim. So before actually I give you some of the evidence and difference of opinion among the scholars, that it's important actually to highlight about some of the significance of the salah, and prayer. My dear brothers and sisters, once our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, one of his last few days, when he was actually sick, he was actually in his deathbed sick. So the last prayer that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ he prayed as an imam was the Dhuhr prayer on the Thursday. So on Friday, Saturday and Sunday he was bedridden, and he was unable to come out for the prayer. On Monday morning, on the Fajr prayer, our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ actually, all these 3 days he was unable to pray. Actually, he instructed Abu Bakr as-Siddiq Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu to become the Imam. He made him the Imam and he became the Imam. So on that Monday morning, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was from his house. As all of us know, that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's house actually was attached to his masjid, Masjid Al-Istiqamah. So what he did is that morning he opened his curtain where he started to saw the Sahaba actually praying. He saw the Sahaba actually praying. And some of the Sahaba like Anas actually he saw Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually he was smiling. He was actually smiling and he was actually proud of the Sahaba. He was actually proud of the Sahaba because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the things that he treasured a lot is actually salah. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith that ju'ilat qurratu aini fi salah. The pleasure of my eyes, the pleasure of my heart is actually salah. So Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the last things that he actually saw before he passed away, he saw the Sahaba actually pray and he acknowledged it and he was satisfied. And immediately after that, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually passed away. Because of that, salah actually has a great importance in Islam to all Muslims, to all of the Anbiya actually. The salah is actually something which actually is great. All of the Anbiya before that, every Sharia of all of the Nabi had actually salah. Isa, Musa, and other of the Anbiya actually, they had the legislation of salah. Let's say we have time actually, we go through some of the evidence that other of the Anbiya actually, they give importance to salah. And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as after he saw the Sahaba, and one of the last words that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam he said before he passed away is as-salah, wa ma malakat aymanukum. Your prayers, meaning your 5 prayers, your 5 daily prayers, and whoever is in your possession, you need to take good care of them. Meaning the slaves, that you have slaves, you need to take good care of them. This was his last few words before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew the importance, he knew the significance of the salah. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in another hadith that the first thing that a person will be questioned, is as-salah. The first thing that will actually be questioned is about salah. If let's say a person's salah is in order, is done properly, aflaha wa anja, that means he will be successful and he will be saved. But if let's say the salah is not done properly and is not performed properly, then khaba wa khasira, that means he will be lost and he will be destroyed with his account. And our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually emphasized this a lot in a lot of his saying, where our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on the day of judgment, that he described that the day of judgment, one day on the day of judgment, it will be equivalent to 50,000 years. One day of the day of judgment will be equal to 50,000 years. It means a long standing, a person will be standing on the day of judgment. But Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, but for a believer, that 50,000 years, for a Muslim, that 50,000 years will be only, the time spent will be only like how the time spent between the Dhuhr and Asr, the Salat of Dhuhr and Asr. That means the time spent for a believer is only very short. What can we derive from this hadith is that Prophet ﷺ actually indirectly giving an indication that whoever actually give importance to Salah, the time spent will be short. Because he gave a comparison of the Salah. The time spent will be only between Dhuhr and Asr. And our Prophet ﷺ emphasized that Salah is very, very important. And Allah Azza wa Jalla actually also says in the Quran that Inna Salata Kana al-Mu'minina Kitabun Mawquta. That Salah is actually prescribed to all of the believers in a specific time, where they are obliged to pray all the all the 5 prayers according to that time. And our Prophet Allah Azza wa Jalla also says in the Quran that the salah, whoever actually takes care of the salah, will actually prevent him from committing all evil deeds. All evil deeds. That's why actually some of the scholars actually they became very strict in this issue of neglecting the salah. And all of the scholars, there is no difference of opinion, all of them consider that whoever actually leaves the salah, whoever actually does not pray a salah, he has committed a major sin. A major sin. As we have discussed in the introduction of this lecture, that Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran that whoever actually leaves the major sin, Allah Azza wa Jalla actually will expiate all his minor sin and will enter him into paradise. In other words, anyone who commits major sin, he is in danger of entering hell fire. And whether a person who does not pray is a Muslim or not, there is actually a need to actually have some discussion regarding this. All of the scholars have the ijma, all of the scholars have a consensus, that means all of them agree that whoever says that salah, whoever says that the 5 salah is not compulsory, that means he says that it's not compulsory, jahilan, that means he acknowledges that I don't need to pray at all because the 5 salah is not part of Islam, or it is not compulsory. The moment he says this, if he is ignorant, we can give him education. Or if he is a new Muslim, then you can tell him the importance of the salah. Maybe, for example, we can inform him that Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said in the hadith that Buniyal Islamu ala khamsin, shahadatu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah wa iqami salah wa ita'i zakat wa sawmi Ramadan wa hajjil bayt. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that Islam is built upon 5 pillars. To say the shahada that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah, and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the message of Allah, and to pray your 5 prayers, to give your zakat, to fast the Ramadan, and perform your hajj, whoever is able to afford. And after that, if you acknowledge, then alhamdulillah. If you choose to say that salah is actually not compulsory, it is an ijma, it's a consensus among the scholars that he is a kafir. He is actually a kafir. But the second issue that the second point where a person, he acknowledged that the salah is compulsory, he acknowledged the salah is actually wajib, but he leaves the salah, he does not pray out of not giving importance to the salah, or out of laziness, or out of him being occupied with other worldly affairs, that means he makes any salah, or he delays the salah, he does not perform the salah in the stipulated time. That means instead of praying Salatul Asr, the time of Asr, he prays it during the time of Maghrib. So regarding this second category, the scholars actually differ. The scholars actually differ whether the person is he a Muslim or not. Okay, they differ whether he is a Muslim or not. But all of them agree that leaving Salah is a major sin. It is actually a major sin. So the first group of scholars, they say actually a person who leaves the Salah, he is still a Muslim. He is still a Muslim. So they say that our Prophet, they say that Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran that Inna Allah la yaghfiru an yushraka bihi wa yaghfiru ma duna dhalika liman yasha. Allah Azza wa Jalla actually forgive all sin, but He does not forgive anyone who actually set partners with Allah Azza wa Jalla. They say this is an evidence. And the second evidence is that they say that on the day of judgment, a person actually will be coming with a lot of evil deeds. On the day of judgment, he will be coming with a lot of evil deeds. He will have 99 records of evil deeds. And he will be, all the evil deeds actually will be put in an evil scale, and he will be asked to acknowledge, do you commit all these evil sins? He says yes. Okay, I committed all evil sins, and this person, he did not commit any good sins, good deeds at all. This person, in his whole life, he did not commit any good deeds at all. All his records are evil deeds. And Allah Azza wa Jalla actually will bring, Allah Azza wa Jalla will say that you have one good deed. but you actually will want good deed. And Allah Azza wa Jal will bring bitaqa, will bring, this hadith is called hadith bitaqa, the hadith of a card, the hadith of a card. So, on the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal will bring a card, and in the card it will be written, La ilaha illallah. The card actually will be written, La ilaha illallah. That means he acknowledged the saying of La ilaha illallah and he understood the meaning of La ilaha illallah. That means he understands the importance of Tawheed. And after that, this person, that card actually will be put in a good scale. Just one good deed, put in a good scale. And the good deed actually will overpower, I mean the good deed will be more heavier than the evil deeds, all his evil deeds. And he will be given the pleasure of entering paradise. So because of this, some of the scholars say that this person, he does not do any good deed at all. That means he did not pray. That means he did not pray, so he actually will be entering Jannah even though he did not pray. That means he's still a Muslim. He's still a Muslim. This is the evidence of the first school of thought. But as I told you earlier, the person who actually did not pray actually is in a grave danger. It's a grave danger. And now actually I will tell you the second opinion, which actually is a very strong opinion, that they have the view that whoever actually leaves Salah can be a disbeliever. That means whoever leaves one Salah, some of them say that whoever actually continuously leaves Salah for a period of time, he is not a Muslim. What is the evidence? They say that Allah says in Surah At-Taha verse 59, فَخَلَفَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ خَلْفٌ أَضَاعُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَاتَّبَعُوا الشَّهَوَاتِ فَسَوْفَ يَلْقَوْنَ غَيًّا. But there came after them successors who neglected the Salah and pursued their desires, so they are going to meet evil. In other words, Ghayya means it's a river, it's a valley or river in the hellfire where the food is very unpleasant. Another evidence that Allah Azza wa Jalla actually, there are evidence that they say that the person who leaves Salah is actually a disbeliever. Allah says in Surah Al-Muddathir, Allah says, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ بِمَا كَسَبَتْ رَهِينَةٌ إلا أصحاب اليمين في جنات يتساءلون عن المجرمين ما سلككم في سقر قالوا لم نكن من المصلين ولم نكن نطعم المسكين وكنا نخوض مع الخائضين وكنا نكذب بيوم الدين حتى أتانا اليقين. Every soul for what it has earned will be retained, except the companions of the right, except the people who enter paradise. Fi jannati yatasaalun, they'll be asking the people of paradise on the day of judgment. They'll be asking each other, okay, about the criminals, about the mujrimin. They will ask them, what has made you enter hellfire? The people of paradise will be asking the people of hellfire, what has made you enter hellfire? They say, we were not of those who prayed. قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. We are not among the people who perform our prayers. Nor did we used to feed the poor, and we used to enter into vain discourse with those who engage in it, and we used to deny the day of recompense until there came to us the certainty, meaning death. So what is the point of evidence here? One of the characteristics is that they used to deny the day of judgment. They used to deny the day of judgment. No one denies the day of judgment except a disbeliever, except a non-Muslim only denies the day of judgment. A Muslim, one of the arkan of Iman is to believe in the day of judgment. And among the characteristics is that they used to actually not to pray. So they said, because of this, a person who did not perform, he will be among the people who are disbelievers. Another evidence that Allah Azza wa Jalla actually mentioned that a person who actually did not pray can be a disbeliever is Allah says in Surah At-Tawbah, فَإِن تَابُوا وَأَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ فَإِخْوَانُكُمْ فِي الدِّينِ. But if they repent, establish prayer and give their zakah, then they are your brothers in religion. That means they are Muslim. To understand indirectly, so if let's say they do not pray or they do not give your zakah, they can be non-Muslim. Allah Azza wa Jalla also says in Surah Al-Mursalat, وَيْلُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ كُلُوا وَتَمَتَّعُوا قَلِيلًا إِنَّكُمْ مُجْرِمُونَ وَيْلُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ ارْكَعُوا لَا يَرْكَعُونَ وَيْلُ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ فَبِأَيِّ حَدِيثٍ بَعْدَهُ يُؤْمِنُونَ. So Allah says here, woe the day to the deniers, that means people actually who disbelieve in the message of Prophet Muhammad SAW. Eat and enjoy yourself a little, indeed you are sinners. Woe that day to the deniers. And when it said to them, bow in prayers, they do not bow. We will tell that, we will inform them actually to pray, they do not pray. Woe that day to the deniers. Then in what statement after the Quran will they believe? What statement after the Quran do you believe? So they say that these are characteristics of people actually don't believe in Islam. So a person who leaves Salah is among them. So because of that, a person who does not pray is among them. So that's it. Actually, you can see I'm actually telling you the evidence that actually a person who did not pray, is actually in a grave danger. It's in a grave danger. Although there are difference of opinion among the scholars whether he is a Muslim or not, that should not be actually our discussion whether all of the Muslims, all of the person claim a Muslim, he or she need to pray. If not, we'll be committing actually a major sin. A major sin that where Allah Azza wa Jalla actually give a warning that he might be actually in the hellfire. Because Salah is one of the things that our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized that no matter what situation, a person actually need to pray his Salah. No matter what situation, whether a person is a traveler, whether a person is sick, whether a person have any other reason, he is not allowed to actually leave his Salah. Even when we study the seerah of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, during even times that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was engaged with his enemies in the battlefield, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized that a person, the Sahaba need to pray. They need to actually pray. That's why they call it Salatul Khawf. During the time of war, there is a specific way that a person needs to actually perform the Salah. So even during that busy point of time, where a person's life is in danger, is required to pray. How about other situations, where other minor situations, do you think a person actually will be given permission not to pray? Yes, but there are times where Islam actually given some privilege, or Islam actually gives some easiness where a person is allowed to actually shorten his prayer during when a person is a traveler, or whenever a person is sick, is allowed to actually combine his prayer. So these are some of the things that Islam actually given, but Islam actually has emphasized that prayer has to be performed during all point of time. And another evidence that actually some of the scholars actually say that a person who did not pray his Salah is actually in a grave danger. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith that man hafadha alaiha كانت له نورا وبرهانا ونجاة يوم القيامة ولم يحافظ عليها لم يكن له نور ولا برهان ولا نجاة وكان يوم القيامة مع قارون وفرعون وهامان وأبي بن خلف. So Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith that whoever preserves the Salah, whoever preserves in them in Salah will have light, a proof, and a salvation on the day of resurrection. But whoever fails to perform his Salah, or whoever does not preserve his Salah, will have no light, will have no proof or salvation on the day of rising. On the day of rising, he will be with Qarun, with Fir'aun, with Haman, and Ubay bin Khalaf. So if you were to know some history of Islam, the Fir'aun, Qarun, Haman, Ubay bin Khalaf are one of the people who actually oppose the Anbiya. They oppose the Anbiya. They are the chief of people actually who disbelieve the message of the Anbiya. So Qarun, his main thing is that he actually give importance to money. So he did not follow some of the Anbiya. And he said that to carry his key for the lock of his wealth, there need of hundreds of people actually to just carry the key of his lock. That means he used to have some arrogance in collecting his wealth. And Haman is a person actually who used to be the aide or to be the minister of Fir'aun. And Fir'aun is known that he's one of the king of the people. And Ubay bin Khalaf used to be one of the people actually who used to be known to be one of the tujjar or one of the businessmen during that time. So some of the scholars say that people actually leave Salah for a few reasons. Some of them actually leave Salah for a few reasons. Some of them, like the Qarun, they do not pray their Salah because they are busy collecting their wealth or busy with their work. And people who leave Salah because of their positions, like they are like Fir'aun or like Haman, who is a minister. And people actually who are busy with their business, with their tijara, with their collecting of wealth, doing trade, they are like Ubay bin Khalaf. So what we got to know here is that leaving Salah is something actually which actually is a danger thing. And as a person who is a father or person actually who is in charge, it is important that you need to give importance about giving the Salah, as Allah Azza wa Jal says in the Quran. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. And enjoin prayer upon your family. Allah Azza wa Jalla actually commanding our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to enjoin prayer upon your family and people and istighfar therein. We ask you not for provision, to provide for you, and the best outcome is for those of righteousness. So as a father or as a person who's the head of the family or as a person who's in charge of a community, it is important that they need to give the awareness or the importance of the Salah. And the moment actually you inform them about Salah, you need to be actually patient to them, and you need to actually make sure that they pray until they die. Because one of the Sahaba actually come and ask Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, O Prophet of Allah Azza wa Jal, tell me what are the deeds which are loved by Allah Azza wa Jal. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, As-salatu fi waqtiha, performing the salah in its spirited time, in the specific time. And after he asked, after that what? So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, birrul walidain, to be good to your parents. So some of the scholars actually commented in this hadith. They said that these two acts, salah and being good to parents, a person needs to perform this throughout his life. Throughout his life, he needs to actually perform this. To be good to your parents and to perform your salah, every day a person needs to actually perform this act of deed. So a person needs to be patient. As a father, at times the children actually do not pray. You need to encourage them. And at times someone in the community actually he sees a person they do not pray. You need to actually continuously encourage them actually to pray. So how if let's say the father himself does not pray? Let's say a father needs to encourage the children to pray. How if let's say the head of the family or the father himself does not pray? That comes to a great danger. So actually you see in many of the communities actually why actually people do not pray is because the person who actually supposed to be the role model, the father and the mother, who actually the children actually look up to, they do not pray. Or they are not consistent in their prayer. Or they delay their prayers. That means when the time of Asr is there, they don't pray the time. Just before Maghrib or just 1 minute or 2 minutes before Maghrib, then they pray their Salatul Asr. So the child actually sees this and he does not give importance to the salah, saying the father and the mother. So it is important that the father and mother or person who is in charge need to give importance to salah. Then actually the people actually will give importance to the salah. So I've highlighted here the importance of salah, the significance of salah in a person. So whoever actually protects the salah, Allah Azza wa Jalla actually will give him light, nur, and will make him actually steadfast in his religion. And many of the scholars actually have the view that whoever actually leaves salah, he will be destroyed in this dunya and the hereafter, because the salah is the thing that actually prevents a person from committing all other major sins. We are studying the book major sin. So if a person wants to be actually protected, if let's say a person wants to be protected from committing any major sin, he needs to actually protect all his salah. Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah, he said in his book Zadul Ma'ad, one of the book, he said that a person will be actually able to enter paradise if he is able to knock the door of paradise 40 times. That means if a person will be able to knock the door of paradise in this dunya 40 times, he will be actually able to enter Jannah or paradise. So he said, what are the 40 things that a person needs to do that actually he will actually able to enter paradise? So he said that a person actually need to take care of the 40 raka'ah. Need to take care of the what? 40 raka'ah of salah. If he take care of these 40 raka'ah of salah, he will be actually protected from all of the calamity in this dunya, and he will enter into Jannah. That means you will not be able to commit any major sin. Throughout the 40 salah, he said the first 17 is the Salatul Mafruḍah. The first 17 raka'ah is the Salatul Mafruḍah, where a person actually prays his Fajr 2 raka'ah, after that the Dhuhr 4 raka'ah, Asr 4 raka'ah, Maghrib 3 raka'ah, and Isha 4 raka'ah, total 17. Another 11 raka'ah is a person actually protecting his, another 12 raka'ah, is a person protecting his rawatib. Rawatib are salah where a person makes it as a will or makes it a habit to perform it daily. Okay, that rawatib, in Arabic language call it rawatib, but this rawatib, this 12 raka'ah attached to a person's fardu salah. Okay, so with 2 raka'ah before Fajr, 2 raka'ah before Salatul Fajr, 2 raka'ah, and 4 raka'ah before Salatul Dhuhr, and 2 raka'ah after Salatul Dhuhr, and 2 raka'ah after Salatul Maghrib, and 2 raka'ah after Salatul Isha. So these are called rawatib. So a person actually protects it, he takes care of this. Another 12, 17 plus 12, 29. 17 plus 12, 29. So 11 more. Where is the 11 raka'ah? They say the Salatul Qiyamul Layl. The Prophet ﷺ used to pray 11 raka'ah of Salatul Qiyamul Layl. Every night he used to pray. The person wakes up at the last part of the night when Allah Azza wa Jalla actually will come down and ask, who is praying? I will accept his prayer. Who is asking for any dua? I will answer his dua. Who is asking for me forgiveness? I will forgive his sin. So during this time, if he prays the 11 raka'ah and he is very attached, close to Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah Azza wa Jalla will actually protect him. So whenever a person knocks a person's door 40 times, surely that a person actually will open the door. So similarly, a person actually take care of these 40 raka'ah, inshallah Allah Azza wa Jalla will open for him a person door in the paradise. So that's it actually. To end the lecture, actually I wish to say here that a person actually will meet Allah Azza wa Jalla actually 2 times. A person will have actually relationship, a person actually will be able to meet Allah Azza wa Jalla actually 2 times. 1 time in this dunya, 1 time is actually in the hereafter. So if let's say he is able to meet Allah Azza wa Jalla actually in this dunya properly, Allah Azza wa Jalla actually will be able to actually welcome him well in the hereafter. So at two times a person meet, the second one is known on the day of judgment. People, all of the people actually will be meeting Allah Azza wa Jal personally, and there will be no person in between Allah Azza wa Jal and the person. In other words, every person, men and women, will have actually private meeting with Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah Azza wa Jal actually will be asking him about his deeds. So his meeting of Allah Azza wa Jalla hereafter will be pleasant or will be satisfied, provided he meet Allah Azza wa Jalla in this dunya well. And when does a person meet Allah Azza wa Jalla in this dunya? No other than salah. When we say Allahu Akbar, we do takbiratul ihram. What it means actually, we need to actually get out from all of the worldly affairs, and we are meeting Allah Azza wa Jalla. Okay, we are meeting Allah Azza wa Jalla. So during the salah, actually a person performs his salah properly, with khushu', he gives concentration, and he performs the arkan of salah, the wajibat of the salah, and he can add some of the sunnah of the salah, he perform it properly. If he does that properly in this dunya, inshallah, in the hereafter, Allah Azza wa Jalla actually will meet him with pleasure and to actually able to enter paradise. So for what I have said this lecture here, to summarize here, is that Islam actually has given a lot of importance of salah, and salah is very, very important. And one of the last saying of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that as-salah wa ma malakat aymanukum. Give importance to your salah, give importance to your salah. And this last statement of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam means that every Muslim need to give importance to salah. That means you see any of your family does not pray, encourage him to pray. Tell them the importance of salah. You see any of your friends in your work, any of your friends in your school does not pray, tell them to pray. Tell them you are Muslim, you need to pray. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that al-ahdu alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salah, wa man tarakaha faqad kafar. The difference between a Muslim and non-Muslim is actually a salah. Whoever leaves salah, it is in a question mark whether he is a Muslim. So it is important to actually give importance to salah, to learn about how to pray, and it does not take hours for a person to pray. The religion of Islam actually made it very simple that one salah, to do a salah with the arkan, a person if he prays will only take 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that. And it is difficult for him to give even that small portion of time for the person who actually created. It is difficult for him to give even this small portion to Allah Azza wa Jal who actually created to him. Then what other characteristic of ungratefulness that we can actually describe him of? So that's it, inshallah. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal actually make us actually firm on our salah. And it's important that actually we need to actually always make dua that Allah Azza wa Jal actually makes us pray the salah, and make our generation, our family, our friends to actually pray the salah. That's what actually one of the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. He used to always make the dua, Rabbi ja'alni muqima salati wa min dhurriyyati Rabbana wa taqabbal dua. Oh Allah, make me among the people who always perform my salah, and make my generation, my children, my grandchildren also perform the salah. Oh Allah, please accept my dua. This was the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. He was an anbiya, he was the Nabi. If he has actually fear of his ummah, of his generation actually to leave salah, how about actually us? And all of us know that the salah actually used to be actually, when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the deeds actually, all of the a'mal, Prophet Jibril came and gave it to him. Zakah, fasting, Hajj, Jibril came and revealed. Only salah, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he himself went to Isra Mi'raj. He went on top personally to meet Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal actually initially made it 50 salah. After that, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually made it 5 salah. So now we are praying 5 salah, but the reward is equivalent to 50 salah. And this is one of the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal has given this ummah. That's it, inshallah. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal actually give us the blessing of performing salah and make us actually aware of salah. And as I told you earlier at the beginning of lecture, we have actually Telegram group, which means spiritual Ustaz Hassan. I encourage you to subscribe to get the lectures of all the major scenes. And actually we have created a Facebook channel, we have created an Instagram and YouTube channel for all of us who are unable to be present in these lectures. At times it's difficult for us to be present, so actually you can go through this channel and listen to the lectures. Allahumma aslih lana dina alladhi huwa ismatu amrina, wa aslih lana dunyana allati fiha ma'ashina, wa aslih lana akhiratana allati fiha ma'adina, waj'al al-hayata ziyadatan lana fi kulli khair, waj'al al-mawta rahatan lana min kulli shar. Allahumma aqsim lana min khashyatika ma tahulu bihi baynana wa bayna ma'asik, wa min ta'atika ma tukallimuna bihi jannatak, wa min al-yaqini ما تهون به علينا مصائب الدنيا. اللهم متعنا بأسماعنا وأبصارنا وقواتنا ما أحييتنا، واجعله الوارث منا، واجعل ثأرنا على من ظلمنا، وانصرنا على من عادانا، ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا، ولا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا مبلغ علمنا، ولا تسلط علينا من لا يرحمنا. رب اجعلنا مقيم الصلاة ومن ذريتنا ربنا وتقبل دعاء. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك وأتوب إليك.